Okay, so today's notes are actually a worksheet. You're not going to be writing in your spiral. And hopefully you have that worksheet already. But before we start taking some notes, let's take a look at this page for real quick. So it says, have you ever gone out to eat at a restaurant where a server comes to your table, takes your order, and serves you your meal? Many of us have gone to a restaurant, and although you probably have never paid the bill before, what the adults at your table do at the end of the meal is they check their receipt, and there's several things on it. On the bill is the list of all the food and drinks that you ordered. And then in addition to that, there are two extra costs that you might already know about. One of those costs is based in the state that you eat your food. And that is called, you guys know what it is? That's right. It is let's see if I can get it to open here, the tax. Oh boy, that moved. It should be down here. Okay, so that's the tax, and the tax is based on the state. So in the state of Maryland, we pay 6% sales tax, but other states have different amounts of sales tax that they pay. So you have that on your receipt. You have that on your receipt if you buy other things also, like in the grocery store, or if you go and buy a shirt, you will have tax. The other amount that is on your receipt is based on the quality of your service. So the adults get to decide what percent they would like to leave, and we call that the tip. And another word for tip is gratuity. So if you see the word gratuity, that means tip. So what this means, and I bet you guys, many of you guys probably know this, is you can decide what percent of your meal you would like to leave the server that brought you your food and took care of you. So if they did a really nice job, you might leave them a higher percent, say 20 or 25%. If they did an okay job, then you might leave them 15% or so. So this tip changes depending on each situation and each adult that makes the decision. But the tax will always be the same percent, which is dependent upon the state you live in. So you might hear me saying percent. So this is another example where we can use our percent proportion to calculate some amounts. So let's take a look at your note sheet that you have. It looks like this. Okay, so the first one, I'll read it to you. It says, after dinner out, Ryan and Patty are trying to determine the total amount of money that they will need to pay for their meal. So right here, it shows a part of the receipt that includes their meal, but it doesn't give us the tax or the tip. So they ordered 2 iced teas, they ordered a chicken sandwich and a chili cheese dog with an extra side of coleslaw. So their subtotal, sub means before the final. So the subtotal, the total before the final is $21.15, and that includes their food and drink. And so now they have to worry about Ryan is going to pay the gratuity or the tip if Patty pays the 6% sales tax. So they want us to figure out sales tax. We're going to use our percent proportion like we did in our warm-up and like we've done for the past couple days. All right, the percent, we're going to do a part over a whole, the part over the whole, and that's going to equal the percent over 100, right? It's the same exact setup, but in this case, the part is going to be our tip. So the part that we're going to substitute in here is going to be the tip. The whole is the total amount of the bill. And because we know this is tax and it's the state of Maryland, our percent is going to be that 6% sales tax. So let's get substituting and solving. So we're trying, I said tip and I meant tax. So the part in this part is our tax, not our tip. Tax. Okay, so we're trying to figure out the tax, and we know the total is $21.15, and we know that the tax is 6 out of 100, which is 6%. All right, So let's see here. We're going to use our cross multiplying. For a line down the middle, 100 times X is going to equal our other cross products, because these are proportional, 6 times 21, 15. And again, we're going to use our calculators. So 21, 15 times 6 is going to give us 126.9. So 100x equals 126.9. And then in order to get X alone, we have to divide by 100. 100 divided by 100 is 1. And then 126.9 divided by 100. So that means that X equals 1.269. And this is money, so we need to round to the nearest hundredth. This 9 is going to make that move up 1. Round it, we need to go up 1. So the sales tax is $1.27. That's the tax. All right, so now let's calculate the gratuity or the tip. We're going to do it the exact same way. And Ryan wants to leave 20% tax. Sorry, I think I stopped sharing there for a minute. So 20% tax. So if we're going to do 20% tax, I'm going to scooch over here because I'm running out of room. I ran out of room over there. So again, we're going to do part to whole, but in this time now the part is the tip. The whole is the total. Now you can write this down, or you can write part or total if you want. The percent will be our whatever we decide. And in this case, Ryan has decided 20%. So I'm going to substitute it in. So now my tip is what I'm missing. I'm still going to put an X up there. My total is still going to be the 21.15. And then now, instead of a 6%, I want to know 20%. So we're going to use our cross products again. And we have 21.15 times 20. I'm going to use my calculator, so please make sure that you have your calculators handy. We end up with 423 equals 100x. You guys should be getting really good at this. We know that 100 times x, in order to get x alone, to isolate x, I have to divide by 100. And we end up with x equals $4.23. So the gratuity that he's going to leave is $4.23. So now we're going to move into like, how do we figure out the total? I bet you guys already know that in your head. We have the amount that they spent on their food and drinks. We have the tax, and we have the tip that we have to put all together to get the final amount that they're going to leave before they leave the restaurant, the amount that they're going to give the server. So the way we figure that out is just by total, right? We have 21.15 plus our tax, which was $1.27, plus our gratuity or tip, which was $4.23. And again, we're using our calculators in order to do the calculations. If you are good with the decimals and you know to line them up, you're more than welcome to do it by hand. But if we use our calculator, we can see that we are going to leave $26.65. So the total amount is, and we're going to label that with the $sign, $26.25. Okay, there is another question, number 4, but we're going to skip that for today, and we're going to move right into our practice, which is on the back of this paper. So if you guys flip your paper over, we have Bubba's Diner menu, and your job today is to decide what menu items you would like to purchase. So your answer is going to be different than another student's answer. Everybody's going to pick their own items that they want. So if you look here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces for items. So I want you to pick 4 things you're going to buy, and you're going to put the cost from the menu in the cost column. Then you will total them up here, and you'll get your pre-tax subtotal. You're going to use this subtotal to calculate 6% tax. And then also you are going to do the 20% tip gratuity. You're going to figure that out. The last thing that we're asking you to do when you go down to number 2 is they're asking you to apply a discount, which is a review from last class. And in the end, you will calculate your total amount that you're going to pay for dinner. And then leave this paper in your math section of your binder, and we'll take a look at it when I come back.